Nick. What we're going to do is we're actually going to go back to colonization. So, yesterday we talked about the fact that the original 13 colonies is that they were divided into 3 different groups. Who can tell me one? Yes?
New York.
Well, but where was that? 3 different regions. Huh?
Middle.
The middle colonies. Tell me another one. The New England colonies, and the last one was the southern colonies, right? We also talked about what? Political. What was political about the colonies being formed? Do you remember? What were they trying to get away from? Yeah, they wanted to do their own thing, right? They were tired of being told to do. And also the social aspect of it, right? So what's going to happen today is I'm going to give each of you a large sheet of white paper. And you're going to divide it into 4 sections, okay? So you're going to take a large piece of white paper and you're going to just simply fold it in half this way, and then you're going to fold it in half this way. This is going to go with your rubric. Go to the social studies links, please. There are 4 different websites that are on here that will talk about the 13 colonies, that will talk about colonization and exploring of the United States. Okay? On these different websites, you will find all kinds of information based on what it is that you're looking for. Okay? For example, the profiles of the colonies. What were the colonies like? Okay? You also have different trades for each of the colonies. Alright? You also, if you do something like go to the interactive map, it will also help to tell you what was going on. So you're going to take your piece of paper that you have folded into 4, and if you'll take a look at your rubric, there are 5 different sections that we're looking for. Okay? What's the first one that we're looking for? Yes? Reason that you left and why you wanted to stay. Okay? Yes? Alright. What's the second box going to be? Yes?
Physical traits.
Physical traits. You have curly hair and brown eyes. Those are physical traits. So if okay, but I'm looking for physical traits of the land. Okay, yeah, yes, genes give you your physical traits. I'm looking for physical traits of the land. What is around you? What is in your particular area? If you're living on the coastal plain, what do you have that's around you? If you're living in the mountain region, what is there? Okay? So that's going to be your second box. So if you were sand, raise your hand. You were sand, raise your hand. Ooh, we have lots of sandy people. These are the colonies that you are allowed to research. Okay? These are the colonies that you have to find all of your information. You can't go to North Carolina to find information. I'm blocking you. You only get these colonies. Okay? Now, does that mean that Catherine has to do Maine and that Aaron has to do New Hampshire? You can just find all the different information from all of them, okay? Because you're going to find the information to be very similar to each other. Okay, if you're a middle colony, who was rocks? I have a bunch of rocks in here. New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware, and Maryland. And then, last but not least, southern colonies, who had either twigs or grass. So your colonies are Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia. Okay? So what I'm going to allow you to do right now, without chaos, my New England colonies may take their laptops and find a place. Go. Be free. My middle colonies, go and be free. If you'd like to stay at your desk to work, that's fine too. Okay, do you have sand? Do you have rivers and streams? What kind of physical things are there? Okay? So physical traits are actually what makes up the picture of the land that you're living on. Alright? So what region are you? So, what would you have? Well, yeah, but you also have, and do you have lots of mountains in that particular area? If you're in a prairie area? No, you have more of the flat open field. So if you were coming to settle and you were building your colony, what kind of things are you going to look for? Well, yeah, some trees, because you do want to have some trees around. What about water? Are you going to look for a place that might have rivers or streams near it? Yes. You don't have indoor plumbing, right? What are you going to need? Are you going to need water for bathing and cooking and cleaning? Right? How did I tell you back then with bath water? How did these people bathe? Yeah. They had to heat up their own water. They weren't able to just go into their bathroom and turn on the spigot and get hot water.
I had to take a shower first.
Right. So everything that they did, they really had to think about and they really had to process, right? Yes. They didn't take showers. They had to, yes. Did they clean themselves? Some people did. Some people would bathe in the rivers and stuff. But in the middle of the winter, if there was a blizzard going on, are you going to go out and jump in the river? No. So also, yes. But if you were talking about farming too, a lot of them did a lot of farming, right? Why would you need to be near a river or a stream? You've got to water, right? If you have really dry summers, you've got to have water for your crops. If you don't have crops, what happens? They die and you what? You starve. What about your livestock, your cows and they're dying too. Right. So when you're talking about the physical traits, it's things that you need to look for, okay? Right? Where were a lot of these colonists coming from? England. But what did they name their new colony? New England, right? New Mexico. I mean, all of these places, a lot of them kept their same names, but new. It was their new world. Oh. All right. Well. Absolutely. Catherine just asked, is it okay over the weekend if we go in through the website and look up more information? Yes. Absolutely. Take the time, go through, find as much information as you can, write it down, bring it in with you on Monday. Yeah, so that on Monday you can go through and have even more information. Yeah. I feel like got it? Do you stay with the crowd that is trying to continue to make you do what you want to do? Or are you going to be willing to separate and take all of that bad vibe and bad news so that you can create your colony? Okay? So keep working on that. So when you're talking about reasons you stayed or you left, discuss, talk with each other. Why did you leave? So you wanted to be free. So right there are reasons that you left, and the opposite of that would be reasons why you stayed. You had food. What else did you have living in? You had shelter, absolutely. You had water. You had the basic needs. When you came to the new world, did you have any of that? What did you have? What stuff you had came from where? You brought it with you, right? So you didn't have a whole lot. All right, keep talking, keep working. You're in Georgia. And what are you doing in Georgia and Virginia?
Looking why we left.
Okay, so why are you leaving? Why were you leaving?
I didn't want to be ruled by the king.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. So go ahead and click on Virginia, okay? So, who was it founded by? You've heard about him before. Do you remember?
Captain John Smith.
Captain John Smith. Do you remember learning about him? Okay. So when all of these people first started coming over, what did they think about the people that were coming over, especially the explorers, including John Smith? They thought what? They did. They totally thought they were off their rockers and they were crazy, right? For two reasons. One, because the world hadn't been explored, and also, what was John Smith going against? Who were they going against?
Christian reality.
They were going against the king, right? They were going against the king. Yes, sir. Okay, now we're start working with the different colonies, okay? Now, one of the really cool ones is if you actually go to the profiles of the different colonies, it will sit here and tell you about what goes on. So you can actually click on one of the New England colonies, and it will tell you everything that Maine, which remember was part of Massachusetts. Have you really? Okay, so look at this. Here are like letters that were written from the ship. That was the Mayflower Compact. So it's going to tell you everything about the colony, when it was founded, and everything that took place there. If you're not New England, then okay?
This is outrageous.
Look, huh?
This is outrageous.
Look, come back here. If you go, okay, so if you go back to the interactive map, if you go to this one right here, it will actually tell you for each colony, it'll give you different information that you need as to how that colony is settled. Okay? So for example, where are you from? Are you the southern, the middle, or the southern? Okay, so pick the southern. Let's pick North Carolina. Okay? And if you click on North Carolina, it'll sit here and tell you what the southern colonies are. It'll tell you what the climate was like, and it also tells you what kind of different land areas that you have and what kind of materials you would have to build. Okay? Which helps you to fill out one of your squares. Got it? Good. What you're going to need to know. On Monday, what we're going to do is we're really going to focus on how the physical environment of the New World influenced your settlement. Okay? Our focus question that we talked about earlier. You have got to get your information down so that when you regroup with your other people, you can start working on creating your colony. Okay? Any questions about what we went through today? Okay, your rubric should be in your 3-ring binder. Your 4-fold should be in your 3-ring binder as well. Okay? Yes? Okay, if you have any other questions about what's going on today.
What was the main objective you were teaching?
The main objective that we're teaching is about the colonization of the New World and why the people left the different countries that they did. So the whole idea behind this particular lesson was to get the kids to research and be involved to find out the main purpose and reasons why they left and why they decided to stay, and also what a struggle it was for these people to come to a new world where they had nothing and had no support from the countries that they left.
Great. Why did you teach it that way?
I have found, especially with having the laptops, but that if the kids are able to do the research and the kids are able to do interactive work with each other and to be able to do group work with each other and have open discussions, I find it far more effective for them as far as being able to remember what it is that they've learned, as opposed to me lecturing and just telling them what it is. It's kind of like flipping the lesson. I introduce it and then they actually find the information and do the research.
Great. Do you have any advice for future teachers?
Go with what you think is going to work, and if it doesn't work, always be willing to switch it up. Every group that you teach, every day that you teach, it's different. Kids will react differently. If it works, that's great. Keep moving with that. But if it doesn't, be willing to change, even if you have put a lot of time into that lesson. And allow kids time to explore with each other, because they will learn a lot from each other as opposed just from you.